Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Dr. Eric Bunge and I'm a chiropractic physician in South Carolina and Florida, and we do a lot with cognitive wellness. And one of the great items that we like to support is a Vielight, in this case a Vielight Gamma, and it's an 810 and it helps with cognitive function. And we thought what a great way to do posture exercises is to add the Vielight experience while we're doing it. So this is our very first little short video of doing some posture basics. And we're going to continue with more advanced stuff. We're going to be using our Vielight while we do it. So some of these exercises are much more relaxed. Posture exercises are a lot about breathing in position. So we'll get a chance for these things to stay in place. There we go. I want to thank the Halls. This is their wonderful exercise room, and they let me use their Gamma unit while we do this original class. So we're going to begin with just some posture exercise basics, and there's three things that I want to introduce you. And the first thing is head, shoulders, knees, and toes. And why that's so important is there's 4 muscle slings in the front that we want to align. In other words, we want to balance the right and left and get a good center of gravity and help with our alignment. And it's sometimes difficult for folks because their feet maybe want to stay out to one side or their shoulders are unlevel. So we're just going to start right here at the core and work ourselves out. So head, shoulders, knees, and toes. We want our feet and our knees about 4 inches apart. Okay? And you can see sometimes your foot will want to turn out. So your job is, when you're adjusting your posture, is to think head, shoulders, knees, toes. Oh, my toes need to point forward. My knees need to be about 4 inches apart. You come up to the head and shoulders. You think about, am I standing tall? Am I lengthening my spine? Are my shoulders level? And if you feel one shoulder higher or the other, you can balance them out. And then we're going to keep the palms of our hands facing each other. So head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Here I am practicing good posture. So that's the basic position. Now, what's important about these 4 muscle slings is right in the middle is what we call the zone of apposition. And that's the world where our diaphragm lives. If we think about in our skeleton on the back here, their spine, it's T8 to T12. And it's very important to understand that our right side and our left side aren't exactly the same. Most importantly is the fact that our liver, which weighs about 4 pounds or maybe more, sits right here under the ribs. And it actually, every time we sit down, you can imagine it, changes our center of gravity, and we have to compensate. And that compensation is what we call the right lateralized spine. And in our posture exercises classes, as we go through, we're going to be using DNS and PRI exercises to untwist the twist of life that happens because of this weight. And so the second thing is our zone of apposition. We want to learn to improve it, not just in its position and its balance between the top and the bottom, but now this new next second technique, which is the exhale. So many of us are used to, when we do an exercise, doing what? We take a big breath in, and then we do something. Well, the trouble is we start using the top half of our respiration, and we don't really use the bottom half. In fitness nowadays, it's called the state of chronic inhalation. You think of barrel-chested people. You think about how having your chest expanded turns your shoulders inward. Okay, and it makes your belly fall forward, and it makes your feet start coming out. So we want to learn to line up and then exhale. Now in our posture exercise classes, we're going to be exhaling for 3 to 5 seconds. So we'll breathe in with our nose, exhale like we're blowing out a balloon, pause, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, exhale, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's pretty remarkable that we can actually change our posture using this exhale technique. And there's many reasons, and it's because it not only gets our ribs down and gets us out of that state of inhalation, but it also takes the extension out of our mid-back, which we'll learn in future lessons is very important. Because one of the reasons we're using the Vielight Gamma and the Neuro and the 810 intranasal, it's because we want to help our cognitive function deflame and calm down. And that excited tone of being An extension is exactly the opposite of what we want to accomplish. We want to relax our tone. We want to calm the nervous system. And so that's one of the reasons we've developed this series of exercise videos, is because we're learning to calm the nerve tone with some good posture exercises while we're gently helping the cognitive function with our Vielight. So we learn two things. The first one is how to line up. Second thing is how to exhale and pause. And now the last thing today is some exercises we can do while we're doing that. It's very simple. You can always just gently squeeze the ball. You see, I don't have to push real hard. I just gently squeeze and then do what? Exhale and pause. So exhale, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Breathe in, out, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. It's so simple, but it's a way that we lengthen our spine and stretch out the front with that exhale and learn to control that sympathetic tone, that excitement tone, that state of inhalation. We learn to say, hey, we're going to turn that off. We're going to go parasympathetic. We're going to go relaxed position. A final exercise is something we call Brugger's, and it's instead of squeezing, this time we're going to open up. So we need a little bit of a long band. Now, where am I going to place my feet? Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. About that 5 inches apart. Now, a simple way is about the width of a fist, okay? And just to keep a reminder, why are we doing that width of a fist is because we want our hips and our posture to be really comfortable with this narrow stance, because that's how we walk better, okay? And the breathing and the walking and the tone, that's our three main goals with these exercises. So here we are. You see I've crossed it over. Now sometimes folks would feel, oh, I want to do something really aggressive. I want to lift my hands way up here and lift it really far. But that's not what our goal is here today. Remember, we're lining up and we want to relax and just open it up about that far. If you have a little rolled towel right here, you can gently squeeze it so you can keep your arms right about in the middle. We don't want our arms out here. We don't need our hand to go way out here. We just want to feel in the back as we relax. Our posture is being strengthened in the backside, so it looks like this. Oh, let me add how to tighten up and challenge the knees. So I keep my feet where they are, okay, that good hin width apart, and I'm going to gently bring my knees together, and you should feel a little stretch back here, especially on the left side. And then I'm going to tighten this band a little bit. And then that way, as I open my legs, I get just a little bit of resistance. Nothing, it's not real hard. It's just enough that I know I have a challenge, and I'm helping myself hold my good posture and my exhale with just a little bit of strengthening in the backside. We're all really tight in the front. We need to relax the front by calling in the backside and that posterior muscle. As we call in those back muscles, what's it do to the front? It tells them to turn off. So instead of stretching, we're inhibiting. And inhibition is a really important way that we exercise and stretch and gain mobility. And the inhibition is an important way that we're going to learn to open up our functional range, relax tight muscles in the front, strengthen weak muscles in the back, and all at the same time holding our head, shoulder, knees, and toes, and relaxing our posture. So if I relax, my knees came together, I tighten it up, get ready, I think about my head and shoulders, where my elbows are at, I widen it up, just a little bit of resistance, I shouldn't be struggling, and I think about exhale, and I just pause. So I often recommend trying to do this 3 to 5 times. In, out, pause. Keeping the resistance nice and easy, yet just enough that I feel the challenge. I'm holding my posture up at the same time, relaxing the front line, tensing up, activating the back line, and we're going to exhale, relax it all. So that's some really good posture exercises that we can do while we're working with cognitive wellness, and we want to thank Vielight for their support, and we support them. So more information at the Bunge Clinic site and vielight.com, and we're going to go ahead and turn this off. We had a nice little exercise session. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next time for some more. Good day.